I'm seeing a lot of stuff on meat eating and how veganism is so much better because, it's not torturing animals. But again, there are plants on this earth that God didn't make. Let me repeat that again. There are plants on this earth that God never intended for them to be here. And man decided we should unnaturally add something God never intended. Men are so focused on creating their intention outside of God, they can never just go with what is native, what is natural. So, I challenge the vegans, right? Because we claim superiority in this veganism, but we don't even question, okay, what part of veganism is a psyop? What part of Beyond Beef, what part of soy, what part of any of this, a carrot, what part does that play in veganism? Because this is the thing, we can find all these problems with meat eaters, but at the same time never find problems with our vegan self, our so-called vegan self. That this vegan identity becomes some kind of a force field, right? And of course, I would never eat meat, but I'm saying, even though I am a vegan, I know there are plants, there are organisms that it's my responsibility to figure out a general rule, which ones are completely fake, which ones are not, again, genetically consistent, are not made by God, right? Have artificial DNA, which an artificial synthetic implies a man tampered with it, right? So for instance, the corn in Mexico, teosinte does not look like that. For instance, the wild rice versus the rice they're giving you, which has starch, which has glycerinic acid, carbonic acid, which has all cyanide, which is all of these things that are melting your brain essentially and causing your body to degenerate and you to be in sickness and you to want conflict and all of this kind of stuff, right? And then there's the wild rice, which is black because it's full of iron and it's untampered with, genetically speaking, right? And just to be clear, right, for hybrids, there's a naturally arising, right, cross-pollinated hybrid that comes about in nature. But again, man had no part in that. Okay, so naturally arising hybrids, we don't have a problem with. So really what we're talking about is chimeras. We're talking about, again, men trying to genetically manipulate, and in the manipulation develops the Frankenstein, develops the monster. So the idea that man even wants to manipulate DNA is wrong from the get-go, because it's assuming that the creator didn't make it in such a way where you don't have to artificially create anything, right? And so until I know man is fully ethical, meaning that he's not ingesting unethical foods, right? I question even this veganism. I question it all, really. So yeah.